Hi everyone, welcome to another video. I wanted to bring up a topic that I brought up many videos ago, and I want to bring it up again because I think it's really important, especially as some of us are getting closer to being reintroduced back into our day-to-day lives. In Ontario, in Toronto, where I live, more and more stores are opening, and I think it's important to touch on this very important topic, which is what don't you miss, and are you going to reintroduce back in your life, and what won't you introduce back in your life? It takes great courage to bring up to awareness the kinds of things that we had in our pre-COVID lives that we actually don't miss and we don't want back. But it's very easy to just get into the keeping up with the Joneses, into the hustle and bustle of the way things were. It takes a lot of courage to not do that. And it takes an intentionality, a specific intention to not introduce those things back in our lives. Otherwise, they'll just pop back in. Companies want your kids to be in their programs again. All businesses open up. Everybody wants your attention. And the question is, where are you going to direct that attention? Now, if we use our courage and not fall into the FOMO, which was the fear of missing out, we'll be able to make that decision of what we want to introduce back into our lives. For example, personally for me, a simple choice is I may not go to the gym as much because I now am using my home gym. That's a relatively easier decision to make. A bigger decision is, what am I going to introduce back for my kids' activity? And for my husband, the decision is, am I going to keep the same hours I used to work before, or am I going to change those hours up? These are big but important questions. And if we don't address those now, we'll be swallowed up by the back to normal life pace before we know it. And no matter what it will look like, it will be busier than what is now. So the challenge here is to maybe dig in and see what will you introduce back with intentionality. So I'd like to guide us through a quick meditation here. And the way we've done our meditations before is we take a nice deep breath and exhale out. Either do the box breath, which is to draw a box with your fingers. So in breath, pause for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out breath. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. In breath. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out breath. Or you may enjoy doing the hand breathing. And remember, we did this together before, where we trace our hand. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. You can just continue that while we prepare ourselves to get into a bit of a seated position. And with our eyes closed or gazing downwards, I'd like to ask you to bring to mind one thing that you enjoy now. Maybe peace of quiet, maybe the slower pace of life. And think about something you may not want to introduce back in your life. And when you think of that one thing, I want you to see what it feels like when you think, I'm not going to introduce this back into my life. Do you feel nervous about that? Do you feel tightening in the body? Do you feel very much in your head, constantly ping-ponging in the mind? Do you feel sadness or a fear of missing out? It's important to address this, because that will determine how it will feel when we're back in reality, and what we want to introduce and what potentially we don't want to introduce. If you'd like to stay with that contemplation a little bit, you can. And maybe at your own time, you could spend a little bit more and really explore what it will mean about introducing those things you love, but also not introducing the things you didn't love and enjoy. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.